Good morning, guys. Listen, welcome to the markets. Today is Thursday, April 12th, 2018, and we're going to start the charts right here. Now, the first thing I want to get into is I want to talk about Bitcoin. It's a big mover and shaker this morning. She took off. She's launched. Big green candle. Let's take a look at it right here. Big green candle. Let's see if we focus in a little bit. This big green candle. It went all the way up to over $8,000, like zoom, like, you know, it's like 6,000 something, all the way up to 8,000 bucks, like zoom. Geez, monster of a green candle. $7,722 right this moment. The cryptocurrencies, they all go up with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes up, they all go up. I've likened it to a circus tent. When they raise a circus tent, they have what's called a center pole. And when they hoist the center pole up, the whole tent goes up. And that Bitcoin is that center pole of the cryptocurrencies. And when Bitcoin goes up, they all go up. Take a look at cryptocurrency market capitalizations here. And what do we see? You know, boom, chig-a-ling. Bitcoin's 43.6% of of dominance, $298 billion of market cap, and we see them all just shooting up. Some of them have shot up big. EOS, 28% today. Wow. All I can say is wow. Litecoin is up 5%. So Litecoin is up less than Bitcoin, 121 bucks. Litecoin was a bargain because it's not going up as fast as some of the other coins. Of course, I've been talking about Litecoin being a bargain. I bought a couple. I'll tell you, honest to goodness. Anyway, I was just saying I might have missed the boat to get the cheap price, you know. But I did get a couple. IOTA, $1.18. Neo 61.23, and they're all shooting up right now as we speak. Bitcoin Cash 708, Ethereum 461. They're all shooting up. So now that we've done talking about that, let's take a look at silver. Oh my God, look at this sad this is. This is so sad. So sad, guys. Look at silver. Down 17 cents. But I'm going to tell you, silver's going to have its day. It's going to have its day in the sun, you know. Stocks right now. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to talk about the effects that what's happening in Syria might have on the markets, because it could have a profound effect upon the markets. As soon as we're done, we're going to talk about that. First, I'm going to go over all the markets here. Dow Jones Industrial averaged up 292 points today, and part of why, not all of why it's up, because I said it was probably going to go up today, and the reason why really is the bonds and rates. Bond prices are staying, the yields are staying down, and I said that this would make a little bounce in the markets. Proves I'm right on that. 282-point bounce, but it probably would have been more like a 150-point bounce or a 200-point bounce. Probably about 100 points of that is what Donald Trump had to say in his tweet. It took a bit of the pressure off, you know. But I think most of it has to do with the bonds. Most of that gain in the market was coming from the bonds. They make it seem like it all had to do with his tweet, and I don't think so. I think most of it come from the bonds. So if we take a look at the bonds, you know, today the bond yields are starting to rise again a little bit. They're up to 2.81% or 2.82% on the U.S. 10-year. That's the one we keep our eye on, is the U.S. 10-year mostly. Of course, we do keep an eye on the on how flat the curve is getting, on the yield curve. We take a look at that too and keep our eye on that. But all the way across the board, we got bond yields rising all the way. All the way from the 3-month up to the 30-year. They're all rising today. Fairly substantial rise. Almost 3 basis points in the U.S. 10-year to almost 2.82%. 2.82%, almost 2.82%. I said it's heading up to 3%. And the market's going to break down when that happens. So this move upwards today will probably temper the market tomorrow. Today we have an up move in the market. Tomorrow we'll probably have a down move in the market, somewhat. Not a real big down move, though. And it's all got to do with these bonds. So let's take a look at crude oil prices. Crude oil over the last 5 days has been going up and up and up. But today it's down 36 cents, but still the overall trend is upwards, as you can see on this 5-day chart. Overall trend for crude oil is upwards. U.S. dollar index today, she's having an up day. She's heading back up toward 90%. So now, like I said, we're going to talk about the effect of this war in Syria on the markets. We have not had a war between superpowers for a long time, going back to World War II, when the superpowers were at war back during World War II. And that's what makes a world war, is when the superpowers are at war between each other. We've had a lot of small wars between smaller countries and superpowers, like the Gulf War and wars like that, you know. But we haven't had a war between two superpowers fighting with one another, for real, a real hot war between two superpowers going back to World War II. And its effect on the markets. First off, a lot of people think, hey, doom, if this breaks out, if America attacks Syria, and if Russia attacks America back, and then America attacks Russia back, that would be doom, and the nuclear missiles would fly from all the silos, and everybody would blow everybody up, and the whole world would be dead. I don't think that's the way it would play out. I think the way it would play out is America might lose a ship. Or two. I mean, it's just terrible. But then the war would be declared, and America would strike back. And then Russia would strike back. It's just the same thing as when you get a smaller war going on. It doesn't necessarily mean doom or the end of the world. But the negative effect on the market would be almost instantaneous the next day if that were to happen. Because the market would be triggered. You know, they talk about people and they say, hey, you know what? He's triggered. He's triggered. This guy's been triggered. Well, the markets would be triggered at that point. And the markets are ready to be triggered. They're primed for a crash. And this is a crash I've been saying has been coming all along. I think that the war would bring the crash in the markets. And we would see a massive drop-off in the markets, which would lead to further problems. And this war could continue and for a long time. Seriously, increasing the amount of debt. Because during a war, they have to withdraw money from the system. They have to increase the debt. There's a very strong possibility that when the market crashes because war starts and everything, that then the Fed would have to come in and support and change their monetary policies. This could change everything. This could change the reflection of everything. We haven't seen anything like this since World War II, of what could happen. But I'm not expecting it to be the end of the world. Seriously. When I did a show this morning, I said, is Donald Trump backing down? And I am hoping that that's what he's doing. I'm hoping he's backing down. But I have to think about what is the real reality in this world, and what's the possibility that that's true, that he is backing down. I'm hopeful. That's wishful thinking. I'm hoping he's backing down. But in reality, what do I really believe? I believe that they're probably going to end up striking Syria. That's the reality. I'm hoping he'll back down. I'm hoping that they'll quit and go home, and that they'll say, "Hey, you know what? Let the Middle East drop off the face of the frickin' earth, you know, and let that area of the world just do whatever they want to do. Leave them to their own devices. Let them have at it and do whatever they want. It's their country over there, you know. The Middle East is theirs. It belongs to them. What in the heck are we doing over there? It's not our country. They're not over here in our country messing around. Why are we over there in their country messing around? I'll tell you why we're over there messing around. Oil. But we got enough oil for ourselves now. So the heck with them. Let them do whatever they want. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion on it all. But here's the thing. They're going to go over there and they're going to mess with them. They're not going to take my opinion on it. They're not going to let them drop off the face of the earth. They're going to go over there and they're going to chase after the oil. And they're going to start something. They're going to start something, and the Russians, I think, are going to step in, and this whole thing's going to be on at that point. It could be on, let's put it that way. Let's hope the Russians have cooler heads. Let's hope the Russians say, hey, you know what? And do like they did last time when America did a strike, and just sit back and watch America blow up their expensive weapons. You know, each one of those bombs costs like what is it, $100,000 a bomb or something? You know, and what do? They send them in there and they blow up an airstrip or something, and they can be repaved, and the whole airstrip can be repaved with new asphalt for like $100,000, and they blow up $100 million worth of munitions, you know, and create a bunch of potholes in the airstrip or something. This is the kind of stuff they do. To me, it's, you know, but they could start, and let's hope the Russians have cooler heads and say, well, let them blow up that airstrip or whatever in the heck they're doing, you know, and the Russians just sit back and giggle at them while they waste their munitions, you know. And we go further and further into debt. I mean, it's just, this is hopeful thinking again, but the Russians probably won't just sit back, and cooler heads may not prevail. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with this. This is a very tense situation that's happened right now. And it come out of nowhere. Never saw this coming. So I guess you could call it a black swan, this whole thing with the gas attacks or whatever. I never saw this coming. In fact, Donald Trump was talking about pulling out of Syria, which would be good news. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next show. Bye.